Fact 1. The Men in Black. Men in Black, MIB, are a staple of UFO and paranormal lore, referring to mysterious individuals who allegedly harass or silence witnesses of UFO sightings or other unexplained phenomena. They are typically described as wearing identical, dark suits, often with sunglasses, and driving unmarked black cars. MIB are said to operate outside of the law, using intimidation and threats to discourage people from sharing their experiences or pursuing further investigation. The origin and purpose of the Men in Black remain a mystery, fueling speculation about their potential connection to government agencies, extraterrestrial entities, or other shadowy organizations. The legend of the Men in Black dates back to the 1950s, with the first reported encounters occurring shortly after the wave of UFO sightings that swept across the United States. Witnesses who claimed to have seen UFOs or had contact with extraterrestrial beings reported being visited by men in black suits who warned them to remain silent about their experiences. Descriptions of MIB vary, but they are typically described as being pale, with blank or expressionless faces. They often speak in a monotone voice and exhibit strange or unnatural behavior. MIB are said to carry identification cards, but they are often vague or unconvincing. The methods used by MIB to silence witnesses reportedly include verbal threats, warning witnesses to remain silent or face negative consequences, intimidation, using psychological tactics to create fear and unease, confiscation of evidence, seizing photographs, videos, or other evidence of UFO sightings, discrediting witnesses, spreading rumors or misinformation to undermine the credibility of witnesses. Various theories have been proposed to explain the nature and origin of the Men in Black, including government agents. MIB may be agents of a government agency that is tasked with suppressing information about UFOs and extraterrestrial contact. Extraterrestrial entities. MIB may be aliens themselves, disguised as humans, who are attempting to control the flow of information about their presence on Earth. Paranormal entities. MIB may be paranormal beings that are attempting to maintain the veil of secrecy surrounding the supernatural world. Psychological phenomena. MIB encounters may be the result of paranoia, conspiracy theories, or the power of suggestion. Skeptics often attribute MIB encounters to hoaxes, misinterpretations, or psychological factors. They argue that the lack of credible evidence makes it impossible to determine the true nature of the phenomenon. However, proponents argue that the widespread reports of MIB encounters across different locations and among different populations suggest that there is something more to the legend than just imagination. They believe that MIB may represent a genuine phenomenon that is worthy of further investigation. Imagine witnessing a UFO sighting and then being visited by two men in black suits who warn you to remain silent about what you saw. Picture the fear and intimidation you would feel as they threaten you with dire consequences if you disobey their orders. Envision the chilling realization that you have stumbled upon a secret that powerful forces are determined to keep hidden. The legend of the Men in Black reminds us that there are secrets that governments and other powerful organizations may try to keep hidden, and that the pursuit of truth can come at a cost. It encourages us to question authority and to remain skeptical of official narratives. The Men in Black are a classic example of a conspiracy theory that has captured the imagination of the public for decades. The image of these mysterious figures, silencing witnesses and suppressing information, is both intriguing and unsettling. Whether you believe in their existence or not, the legend of the Men in Black is a reminder of the power of secrecy and the importance of questioning authority. Fact 2. The hum. The hum is a persistent and mysterious low-frequency noise heard by a small percentage of the population worldwide. The sound is often described as a rumbling, droning, or humming noise that is most noticeable indoors and at night. The hum is often difficult to locate, and its source remains unknown. The experience of hearing the hum can be distressing and can lead to sleep disturbances, anxiety, and other health problems. The lack of a definitive explanation for the hum has fueled speculation about its potential causes, ranging from industrial machinery to paranormal phenomena. The hum has been reported in various locations around the world, including Taos, New Mexico, Bristol, England, and Largs, Scotland. The characteristics of the hum can vary depending on the location and the individual, but it is typically described as being a low-frequency sound that is difficult to block out. Some people who hear the hum report that it is more intense in certain locations or at certain times of day. They may also report that it is accompanied by other symptoms, such as headaches, dizziness, or nausea. Various theories have been proposed to explain the cause of the hum, including industrial machinery. The hum may be caused by low-frequency vibrations from industrial machinery, such as pumps, generators, or compressors. Military communications. The hum may be caused by low-frequency radio waves used for military communications or submarine detection. Geological activity. The hum may be caused by seismic activity or other geological processes. Tinnitus. The hum may be a form of tinnitus, a ringing or buzzing in the ears that is caused by damage to the auditory system. Microwave auditory effect. The hum may be caused by microwave radiation that is directly stimulating the auditory system. Skeptics often attribute the hum to environmental noise, psychological factors, or individual health conditions. They argue that the lack of scientific evidence makes it impossible to determine the true cause of the phenomenon. However, proponents argue that the persistence and widespread reports of the hum suggest that there is something more to it than just mundane explanations. They believe that the hum may represent a genuine environmental mystery that is worthy of further scientific investigation. Imagine living in a quiet neighborhood when you suddenly start hearing a persistent, low-frequency humming noise that you can't escape. Picture the frustration and anxiety you would feel as you try to locate the source of the noise and find a way to block it out. Envision the health problems and sleep disturbances that could result from being constantly exposed to this unexplained sound. The mystery of the hum reminds us that there are environmental mysteries that affect people around the world, and that the search for answers can be a long and challenging process. It encourages us to be aware of our surroundings and to advocate for solutions to environmental problems that affect our health and well-being. The hum is a particularly frustrating and unsettling mystery because it directly impacts people's daily lives. The lack of a clear source or solution only adds to the distress of those who experience it, whether it's a result of mundane causes or something more mysterious. The hum is a reminder that our environment can have a profound impact on our physical and mental health. Fact 3. Automatic writing. Automatic writing, also known as psychography, is a claimed psychic ability or spiritual practice where a person writes words or messages without consciously directing their hand. The writing is purported to come from a subconscious, spiritual, or extraterrestrial source. Practitioners believe that they are acting as a conduit for information from beyond the material world. While often associated with spiritualism and paranormal investigation, automatic writing is viewed with skepticism by the scientific community and is largely attributed to psychological factors. The practice of automatic writing gained popularity during the spiritualist movement of the 19th century. Spiritualists believed that automatic writing was a way to communicate with the spirits of the deceased. Mediums would enter a trance-like state and allow spirits to guide their hand, producing messages for the living. There are two main types of automatic writing: direct writing. The medium holds a pen or pencil and allows the spirit to guide their hand directly, producing words or sentences. Indirect writing. Ouija board. The medium places their hand on a planchette, a small, heart-shaped piece of wood or plastic that rests on a Ouija board. The spirit guides the planchette to spell out words or messages on the board. Proponents of automatic writing believe that it can be used to communicate with spirits, contact the spirits of deceased individuals, and receive messages from beyond the grave, access the subconscious mind, uncover hidden thoughts, feelings, and memories that are buried in the subconscious, receive guidance from higher powers, connect with angels, spirit guides, or other benevolent entities who can provide wisdom and support, develop psychic abilities, enhance intuition, clairvoyance, and other psychic gifts. Skeptics often attribute automatic writing to ideomotor action, a psychological phenomenon where unconscious muscle movements cause the hand to move without conscious intent. They argue that the messages produced through automatic writing are not coming from an external source, but rather from the subconscious mind of the writer. Critics also raise concerns about the potential for fraud and deception. They argue that some mediums may intentionally manipulate the writing process to produce messages that are consistent with the beliefs or expectations of their clients. Imagine sitting in a dimly lit room, holding a pen over a blank piece of paper. Picture yourself closing your eyes, clearing your mind, and allowing your hand to move freely across the page. Envision the words flowing from your pen as if guided by an unseen force, revealing secrets and messages from beyond the veil. The mystery of automatic writing reminds us that the human mind is a powerful and complex instrument, and that there are many aspects of consciousness that we do not yet fully understand. It encourages us to explore the depths of our own subconscious and to remain open to the possibility of the unknown. Automatic writing is a fascinating example of a practice that blurs the line between spirituality, psychology, and the paranormal. Whether you believe it's a genuine form of spirit communication or a manifestation of the subconscious mind, it's a compelling reminder of the power of the human mind and the enduring desire to connect with something beyond our everyday reality. Fact 4. The Philadelphia Experiment. The Philadelphia Experiment, also known as Project Rainbow, is a purported military experiment that allegedly took place at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in 1943. According to the legend, the experiment involved attempting to make the USS Eldridge, a destroyer escort, invisible to radar. However, the experiment is said to have gone horribly wrong, resulting in the ship teleporting to Norfolk, Virginia, and back, as well as causing severe physical and mental effects on the crew. The Philadelphia experiment is one of the most enduring and controversial urban legends of the 20th century, with proponents claiming that it represents evidence of advanced technology and government secrecy, while skeptics dismiss it as a hoax or a misinterpretation of actual events. The details of the Philadelphia experiment vary depending on the source, but the basic story is as follows. In 1943, the U.S. Navy was conducting experiments to develop radar invisibility technology. The USS Eldridge was equipped with a powerful electromagnetic field generator that was intended to bend light and radar waves around the ship, making it invisible. On October 28, 1943, the experiment was conducted. According to witnesses, the USS Eldridge was enveloped in a green haze and vanished from its dock at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. A few minutes later, the ship reportedly reappeared in Norfolk, Virginia, hundreds of miles away. After a brief period, the ship vanished again and reappeared back at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. The crew members of the USS Eldridge were said to have suffered severe physical and mental effects as a result of the experiment. Some were reportedly fused to the ship's hull, while others suffered from disorientation, nausea, and mental illness. Some crew members were said to have disappeared altogether. The U.S. Navy has consistently denied that the Philadelphia experiment ever took place. They claim that there is no evidence to support the story and that the USS Eldridge was never equipped with radar invisibility technology. Skeptics have offered various explanations for the Philadelphia experiment legend, including misidentification of events, exaggeration of facts, and the influence of science fiction. They point out that there is no credible evidence to support the story and that the accounts of witnesses are often inconsistent and unreliable. However, proponents argue that the U.S. Navy is covering up the truth about the Philadelphia experiment and that there is evidence to support the story, such as eyewitness accounts and alleged government documents. They believe that the Philadelphia experiment represents a dangerous and unethical attempt to develop advanced technology without regard for the safety of human beings. Imagine being a crew member aboard the USS Eldridge when the Philadelphia experiment takes place. Picture the ship being enveloped in a green haze and vanishing from its dock. Envision the horrifying effects of the experiment on your fellow crew members as they suffer from disorientation, nausea, and even fusion to the ship's hull. The legend of the Philadelphia experiment reminds us that there are secrets that governments may try to keep hidden and that the pursuit of scientific advancement can have unintended and devastating consequences. It encourages us to question authority and to remain skeptical of official narratives. The Philadelphia experiment is a classic conspiracy theory that blends science fiction, military secrecy, and the potential dangers of unchecked technological advancement. The story is inherently fascinating, tapping into our fears about government control, scientific hubris, and the unknown consequences of tampering with the laws of nature. Whether you believe it or not, the legend of the Philadelphia experiment is a powerful reminder of the importance of ethical considerations in scientific research. Fact 5. Time slips. Time slips are a paranormal phenomenon involving the experience of seemingly traveling through time, either briefly or for an extended period. People who experience time slips may find themselves in a different era, surrounded by people and objects that are out of place in their current timeline. Time slips are often spontaneous and unexpected, and they can be both disorienting and fascinating. The nature and cause of time slips remain a mystery, fueling speculation about the true nature of time and the possibility of alternate realities. Time slip experiences are reported worldwide, and they have been documented in various forms of media, including books, films, and television shows. Some famous examples of alleged time slip locations include the Liverpool time slips. Several people have reported experiencing time slips in Liverpool, England, finding themselves transported back to the 19th or early 20th century. The Versailles time slip. In 1901, two English women claimed to have experienced a time slip while visiting the Palace of Versailles in France, finding themselves surrounded by people dressed in 18th century clothing. The Moberly Jourdain incident. This is the name given to the Versailles time slip, named after the two women involved, and Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain. Descriptions of time slip experiences vary, but they often involve a sudden change in the environment, such as a shift in the weather, the appearance of unfamiliar buildings or vehicles, or the presence of people dressed in clothing from a different era. Witnesses may also report feeling disoriented or confused, as if they had been transported to another place in time. Various theories have been proposed to explain the nature and cause of time slips, including glitches in the Matrix. Time slips may be evidence that our reality is a simulation and that there are occasional glitches in the programming. Tears in the fabric of time. Time slips may be caused by tears or distortions in the fabric of space-time, allowing individuals to briefly travel to another time period. Alternate realities. Time slips may involve crossing over into an alternate reality that exists parallel to our own. Psychological phenomena. Time slip experiences may be the result of déjà vu, vivid dreams, or other psychological conditions. Skeptics often attribute time slip experiences to misremembering events, confusing memories, or being influenced by historical accounts. They argue that the lack of scientific evidence makes it impossible to determine the true nature of the phenomenon. However, proponents argue that the widespread reports of time slip experiences across different locations and among different populations suggest that there is something more to the phenomenon than just psychological factors. They believe that time slips may represent a genuine paranormal phenomenon that challenges our understanding of time and reality. Fact 6. Cryptids. Cryptids are creatures whose existence has been suggested but has not been recognized by scientific consensus. These are animals that cryptozoologists believe may exist somewhere in the wild, but for which conclusive proof remains elusive. Cryptids range from lake monsters like the Loch Ness Monster and Champy, to Bigfoot, to various other unknown creatures and hominids. The search for cryptids fuels the human imagination and provides a window into the intersection of folklore, zoology, and the unknown limits of the natural world. The appeal of cryptids lies in the mystery and the possibility that there are still undiscovered species roaming the earth. Cryptozoology, the study of cryptids, is often dismissed as a pseudoscience, but its practitioners argue that anecdotal evidence, eyewitness accounts, and occasional blurry photographs provide enough reason to continue the search. Some of the most famous cryptids include Bigfoot, Sasquatch, a large, hairy hominid said to inhabit the forests of North America, particularly the Pacific Northwest. The Loch Ness Monster, Nessie, a large, aquatic creature said to inhabit Loch Ness in Scotland. The Yeti, abominable snowman, a large, ape-like creature said to inhabit the Himalayan mountains. The Chupacabra, a creature said to attack livestock, particularly goats, in Latin America, draining them of blood. Mothman, a winged creature with red eyes, associated with disaster in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Explanations for cryptid sightings vary. Some believe that cryptids are real animals that have simply avoided scientific detection. Others suggest that cryptid sightings are misidentifications of known animals, hoaxes, or the result of folklore and imagination. The search for cryptids often involves eyewitness interviews, collecting accounts from people who claim to have seen the creatures, footprint analysis, examining and attempting to identify unusual footprints, photograph and video analysis, scrutinizing blurry or unclear images for evidence of the creatures, expeditions to remote areas, organizing trips to areas where cryptids are said to live in the hopes of finding evidence. The pursuit of cryptids, while often criticized, speaks to the human desire to explore the unknown and to believe that there are still mysteries to be solved in the natural world. Imagine trekking through a remote forest, searching for evidence of a creature that has never been officially recognized by science. Picture the excitement and anticipation you would feel if you stumbled upon a footprint, a strange scat sample, or even a fleeting glimpse of the creature itself. Envision the challenges of proving the creature's existence to the scientific community and the thrill of potentially rewriting the textbooks. The world of cryptids reminds us that there are still mysteries to be uncovered on our planet, and that the line between science and speculation can be blurry. It encourages us to explore the unknown and to remain open to the possibility that there are creatures beyond our current understanding. The allure of cryptids rests in the hope that the natural world still holds surprises. Cryptids represent the wilder side of zoology and the persistent human desire for discovery. The stories surrounding these creatures often blend folklore, eyewitness accounts, and a dash of wishful thinking. While many cryptid sightings are likely misidentifications or hoaxes, the possibility of undiscovered species continues to fuel the imaginations of cryptozoologists and enthusiasts alike. Fact 7. The Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalker Ranch, also known as the Sherman Ranch, is a 512-acre property located in Uinta County, Utah, that has been the subject of intense paranormal investigation for decades. The ranch is notorious for its high concentration of unexplained phenomena, including UFO sightings, strange animal mutilations, cryptid sightings, including the Skinwalker, a shape-shifting creature from Navajo folklore, and poltergeist activity. The sheer volume and variety of alleged paranormal events at Skinwalker Ranch have made it a focal point for paranormal researchers and a source of fascination for those interested in the unexplained. The history of paranormal activity at Skinwalker Ranch dates back to at least the 1950s, with reports of strange events from local residents. However, the ranch gained widespread attention in the mid-1990s when Terry and Gwen Sherman, who owned the ranch at the time, reported a series of bizarre and disturbing events to the local media. The Shermans claimed to have witnessed a variety of phenomena, including UFO sightings, strange lights in the sky, unidentified aerial objects, and even reports of craft landing on the property. Animal mutilations, livestock being found dead with surgically precise wounds, and organs removed without any signs of blood or struggle. Cryptid sightings, encounters with unusual and unidentified animals, including a large wolf-like creature that seemed impervious to bullets, and the skinwalker itself. Poltergeist activity, unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and other disruptive phenomena inside the ranch house. The Shermans were so disturbed by the events at the ranch that they eventually sold the property to Robert Bigelow, a wealthy businessman and paranormal enthusiast, in 1996. Bigelow established the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDS, to conduct scientific investigations at the ranch. NIDS researchers spent several years documenting and investigating the paranormal phenomena at Skinwalker Ranch. They used a variety of scientific instruments, including cameras, sensors, and magnetometers, to try to gather data on the strange events. The NIDS researchers reported documenting a variety of unexplained phenomena, but they were unable to find any definitive explanations for the events. Their findings were published in a book titled Hunt for the Skinwalker, which further popularized the legend of Skinwalker Ranch. Since NIDS ceased operations, Skinwalker Ranch has been acquired by Brandon Fugel, who continues to study the ranch and has allowed a documentary series, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, to film on the property. This series has brought renewed attention to the ranch and its mysteries. Skeptics often dismiss the reports of paranormal activity at Skinwalker Ranch as hoaxes, misinterpretations, or psychological phenomena. They argue that the lack of verifiable evidence makes it impossible to determine the true nature of the events. The remote location and the suggestive nature of the stories may also contribute to the phenomenon. However, proponents argue that the sheer volume and consistency of the reports from credible witnesses over many years suggests that there is something genuinely unusual happening at Skinwalker Ranch. They believe that the ranch may be a portal to another dimension, a hot spot for paranormal activity, or a site of ongoing extraterrestrial experimentation. Imagine standing on Skinwalker Ranch, surrounded by miles of desolate landscape, feeling the weight of its history and the presence of the unknown. Picture the strange lights in the sky, the unexplained noises in the night, and the unsettling sense that you're being watched by something unseen. Envision the scientific instruments recording data that defies explanation, and the researchers struggling to make sense of the mysteries that surround them. The legend of Skinwalker Ranch reminds us that there are places in the world where the veil between the known and the unknown is thin, and that the boundaries of reality may be more fluid than we think. It encourages us to explore the mysteries of the universe and to remain open to the possibility of the extraordinary, even when faced with skepticism and disbelief. Skinwalker Ranch is a compelling example of a location that has become a magnet for paranormal speculation. The variety of alleged phenomena, from UFOs to cryptids to poltergeist activity, creates a rich and complex tapestry of mystery. Whether it's a genuine hotspot for the paranormal or a product of suggestion and misinterpretation, Skinwalker Ranch is a powerful reminder of the enduring human fascination with the unexplained. The sheer duration of the reported activity adds to its intrigue. Fact 8. Shadow People. Shadow people are a paranormal phenomenon involving sightings of dark, shadowy figures that appear to be human-like in shape but lack distinct features. These entities are often described as being fleeting and elusive, appearing in peripheral vision or darting across hallways and rooms. Shadow people sightings are reported worldwide, and they have become a popular subject of discussion on paranormal websites and in paranormal investigations. The nature and origin of shadow people remain a mystery, fueling speculation about their potential connection to ghosts, demons, interdimensional beings, or psychological phenomena. Descriptions of shadow people vary, but they are typically described as being dark, shapeless figures that lack distinct facial features. Some witnesses report seeing shadow people with glowing red eyes, while others describe them as being completely featureless. Shadow people are often said to be tall and thin, but their size and shape can vary. Shadow people are often seen moving quickly, darting across a room or hallway before disappearing. They are typically seen in dimly lit areas or at night. Some witnesses report feeling a sense of dread or unease when they see shadow people, while others report feeling a sense of curiosity or fascination. Various theories have been proposed to explain the nature and origin of shadow people, including ghosts or spirits. Shadow people may be the spirits of deceased individuals who are unable to fully manifest in the physical world. Demons or malevolent entities. Shadow people may be demonic entities that are attempting to harm or influence humans. Interdimensional beings. Shadow people may be beings from another dimension that are briefly crossing over into our reality. Psychological phenomena. Shadow people sightings may be the result of hallucinations, sleep paralysis, or other psychological conditions. Optical illusions. Shadow people sightings may be caused by tricks of the light or distortions in perception. Skeptics often attribute shadow people sightings to mundane explanations, such as optical illusions, pareidolia, the tendency to see patterns in random stimuli, or sleep deprivation. They argue that the lack of concrete evidence makes it impossible to determine the true nature of shadow people. However, proponents argue that the widespread reports of shadow people sightings across different cultures and time periods suggest that there is something more to the phenomenon than just psychological factors. They believe that shadow people may represent a genuine paranormal phenomenon that is worthy of further investigation. Imagine lying in bed at night, half asleep, when you suddenly see a dark, shadowy figure standing in the corner of your room. Picture the fear and confusion you would feel as you try to make sense of what you are seeing. Envision the shadow person moving towards you, its presence a chilling reminder that there are unseen forces at play in the world. The mystery of shadow people reminds us that there are aspects of reality that are beyond our current understanding, and that the human mind can be vulnerable to suggestion and illusion. It encourages us to question our perceptions and to remain open to the possibility of the unknown. Shadow people are a particularly creepy and unsettling paranormal phenomenon. The idea of a shapeless, shadowy figure lurking in the periphery of our vision is inherently disturbing. Whether you believe in their supernatural origins or attribute them to psychological factors, shadow people tap into our deepest fears about the unknown and the darkness that may exist within ourselves. Fact 9. The Mothman Prophecies. The Mothman Prophecies is a series of unexplained events that occurred in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, between November 1966 and December 1967, involving sightings of a mysterious winged creature known as the Mothman. The Mothman was described as a large, humanoid figure with glowing red eyes, often associated with impending disaster or tragedy. The events in Point Pleasant culminated in the collapse of the Silver Bridge, a major transportation link, on December 15, 1967, killing 46 people. The Mothman sightings and the bridge collapse have become intertwined in local folklore and have inspired numerous books, films, and documentaries. The first Mothman sighting was reported on November 12, 1966, when 5 men digging a grave near Clendenin, West Virginia, claimed to have seen a flying man soar over their heads. A few days later, on November 15th, 2 young couples driving near an abandoned TNT plant outside of Point Pleasant reported seeing a large, gray creature with glowing red eyes. The creature reportedly followed their car at high speed before disappearing. Over the following months, numerous other sightings of the Mothman were reported in the Point Pleasant area. Witnesses described the creature as being between 6 and 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of approximately 10 feet. Some reported that it made a high-pitched screeching sound. The Mothman sightings were often associated with other strange phenomena, such as UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and men in black, mysterious government agents who allegedly try to silence witnesses of paranormal events. The collapse of the Silver Bridge on December 15, 1967, added a tragic dimension to the Mothman legend. Many locals believed that the Mothman was a harbinger of the disaster, while others believed that the creature was somehow responsible for the bridge collapse. Skeptics have offered various explanations for the Mothman sightings, including misidentification of known animals, such as owls or sandhill cranes, and mass hysteria fueled by media coverage. The Silver Bridge collapse was attributed to a structural flaw. However, the persistence of the Mothman legend and the unexplained aspects of the events in Point Pleasant continue to fascinate those interested in the paranormal. The Mothman has become a symbol of mystery, disaster, and the unknown forces that may be at play in our world. Imagine driving along a dark, deserted road when suddenly a large, winged creature with glowing red eyes appears in front of your car. Picture the fear and unease you would feel as the Mothman follows you, its presence a harbinger of impending doom. Envision the tragic events that unfold in Point Pleasant, leaving a lasting legacy of mystery and unanswered questions. The story of the Mothman prophecies reminds us that there are events that defy explanation and that the line between reality and myth can be blurred. It encourages us to question our understanding of the world and to remain open to the possibility of the extraordinary. The Mothman Prophecies is a chilling and compelling tale of unexplained phenomena and impending disaster. The association of the Mothman with the Silver Bridge collapse adds a tragic and unsettling dimension to the story. Whether you believe in the paranormal aspect of the case or not, it's a reminder that there are unexplained mysteries in the world that can have a profound impact on communities and individuals. Fact 10. Black-eyed children. Black-eyed children, Becks, are an urban legend involving encounters with children who have completely black eyes. These children are often described as being between the ages of 6 and 16, and they typically approach people's homes or cars late at night, asking for help or a ride. Witnesses report feeling a sense of unease, dread, or even terror when interacting with Becks, and they often feel compelled to comply with the children's request despite their better judgment. The origin and nature of black-eyed children remain a mystery, fueling speculation about their potential connection to demons, aliens, or other supernatural entities. The legend of black-eyed children is relatively recent, with the first documented accounts appearing online in the late 1990s. The stories quickly spread through paranormal websites and forums, and they have since become a popular subject of discussion in the paranormal community. Descriptions of black-eyed children vary, but they are typically described as being pale, thin, and dressed in old-fashioned or unusual clothing. Their most distinguishing feature is their eyes, which are completely black, lacking any visible iris or pupil. Black-eyed children are often said to approach people's homes or cars late at night, typically knocking on the door or window and asking for help or a ride. They often use polite and persuasive language, but their demeanor is described as being unsettling and unnatural. Witnesses report feeling a strong sense of unease, dread, or even terror when interacting with black-eyed children. They often feel compelled to comply with the children's requests, even if they know that it is a bad idea. Various theories have been proposed to explain the nature and origin of black-eyed children, including demons or malevolent entities. Black-eyed children may be demonic entities that are attempting to gain entry into people's homes or lives. Aliens or hybrid beings. Black-eyed children may be alien beings or human-alien hybrids that are attempting to study or interact with humans. Vampires. Black-eyed children may be a modern version of the vampire legend, adapted to a contemporary setting. Psychological phenomena. Black-eyed children sightings may be the result of hallucinations, sleep paralysis, or other psychological conditions. Skeptics often attribute black-eyed children sightings to hoaxes, urban legends, or the power of suggestion. They argue that the lack of credible evidence makes it impossible to determine the true nature of the phenomenon. However, proponents argue that the widespread reports of black-eyed children sightings across different locations and among different populations suggest that there is something more to the legend than just imagination. They believe that black-eyed children may represent a genuine paranormal phenomenon that defies easy explanation. Imagine being alone in your house late at night when you hear a knock on the door. Picture yourself opening the door to find two children standing on your doorstep, their eyes completely black. Envision the feeling of unease and dread that washes over you as they ask you to let them in. The legend of black-eyed children reminds us that there are things that go bump in the night, and that the human imagination can conjure up terrifying images. It encourages us to trust our instincts and to be cautious when interacting with strangers, especially those who seem unsettling or unnatural. Black-eyed children are a truly chilling and unsettling urban legend. The image of a child with completely black eyes is inherently disturbing, and the feeling of unease and compulsion that witnesses report experiencing adds another layer of creepiness. Whether you believe in their supernatural origins or not, black-eyed children are a powerful reminder of the things that scare us in the dark. Fact 11. Spirit photography. Spirit photography is a historical genre of photography that attempted to capture images of ghosts and other spiritual entities on film. Popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, during the height of the spiritualist movement, spirit photographers claimed to be able to capture the images of deceased loved ones, spirit guides, or other supernatural beings alongside the living sitter. While largely debunked as fraudulent today, spirit photography remains a fascinating example of the intersection of technology, belief, and the human desire to connect with the afterlife. The most famous spirit photographer was William H. Mumler, who rose to prominence in the 1860s. Mumler claimed to have accidentally discovered his ability to capture spirits on film while taking a self-portrait. His photographs often depicted ghostly figures hovering behind or beside the sitter, and he quickly gained a large following among spiritualists who were eager to obtain visual proof of the existence of spirits. Mumler's work was met with both enthusiasm and skepticism. Some people believe that his photographs were genuine evidence of the afterlife, while others accused him of fraud. He was eventually put on trial for fraud, but he was acquitted due to lack of conclusive evidence. Despite the controversy, spirit photography continued to be popular for several decades. Other spirit photographers emerged, each with their own techniques and styles. Some photographers used double exposure to create the illusion of ghostly figures, while others used manipulated negatives or actors dressed as ghosts. The popularity of spirit photography declined in the early 20th century as photographic techniques became more sophisticated and as skepticism towards spiritualism increased. Today, spirit photography is largely regarded as a historical curiosity, a reminder of a time when people were more willing to believe in the supernatural. However, some people continue to believe that spirit photography can capture genuine images of ghosts and other spiritual entities. They argue that some spirit photographs cannot be easily explained by conventional photographic techniques, and that they may represent evidence of the paranormal. Imagine sitting in a Victorian-era photography studio, posing for a portrait while hoping to capture the image of a deceased loved one on film. Picture the excitement and anticipation you would feel as you waited to see the developed photograph, wondering if it would provide proof of the afterlife. Envision the debate and controversy that would surround the photograph, as people argued over whether it was a genuine image of a spirit or a clever piece of trickery. The history of spirit photography reminds us that the human desire to connect with the afterlife is strong, and that people are often willing to believe in extraordinary claims if they provide comfort or hope. It encourages us to be critical thinkers and to evaluate evidence carefully, while also remaining open to the possibility of the unknown. Spirit photography is a fascinating historical example of how technology can be used to both explore and exploit our beliefs about the supernatural. It highlights the human desire to find proof of life after death and the enduring appeal of the paranormal. While most spirit photographs are now recognized as fraudulent, they serve as a reminder of the power of belief and the importance of critical thinking. Fact 12. The Ouija board. The Ouija board, also known as a spirit board or talking board, is a flat board marked with the letters of the alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, the words yes, no, hello, and goodbye, along with various symbols and graphics. It is used, often in a group setting, to communicate with spirits. Participants place their fingers on a planchette, a small, heart-shaped piece of wood or plastic, and ask questions. The planchette is believed to be guided by spirits to spell out answers to the questions on the board. While often used for entertainment, the Ouija board is considered by many to be a tool for spiritual communication and a potential gateway to the spirit world. Approach with caution due to its perceived risks. The Ouija board's origins can be traced back to the late 19th century, during the height of the spiritualist movement. It was initially marketed as a parlor game, but it quickly gained popularity as a tool for communicating with the deceased. The commercial production and sale of Ouija boards helped to spread the belief that they could be used to contact spirits. There are various theories about how the Ouija board works. Spirit communication. The planchette is guided by spirits who are answering the questions asked by the participants. Subconscious mind. The planchette is guided by the subconscious minds of the participants, revealing hidden thoughts, feelings, or memories. Ideomotor effect. The planchette is moved by unconscious muscle movements of the participants, resulting in answers that are influenced by their expectations or beliefs. Skeptics often attribute the Ouija board's movements to the ideomotor effect, arguing that the participants are unconsciously moving the planchette themselves. They point out that the answers provided by the Ouija board are often vague, ambiguous, or consistent with the participants' expectations. However, proponents argue that some Ouija board sessions produce information that the participants could not have known consciously, suggesting that there may be an external force at work. They believe that the Ouija board can be a genuine tool for spiritual communication, allowing them to connect with spirits, guides, or other entities from beyond the physical world. Imagine sitting around a Ouija board with friends in a darkened room, placing your fingers lightly on the planchette. Picture the anticipation and excitement as you ask questions, wondering what answers will come. Envision the planchette slowly moving across the board, spelling out words that seem to come from an unseen source, sending chills down your spine. The mystery of the Ouija board reminds us of our enduring fascination with the spirit world and the desire to connect with those who have passed on. It encourages us to be respectful of the unknown and to approach spiritual practices with caution and discernment. The Ouija board is a classic example of a tool that can amplify both our hopes and our fears about the spirit world. Whether it's a portal to the other side or simply a manifestation of our subconscious minds, the Ouija board serves as a powerful reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our everyday perceptions. The blend of anticipation and trepidation surrounding its use speaks to our complex relationship with the unknown. Fact 13. Ley lines. Ley lines are purported alignments of ancient sites, natural landmarks, and significant geographical features. Proponents believe these lines represent ancient pathways or energy corridors that crisscross the globe, connecting sites of spiritual or historical significance. The concept of ley lines is often associated with earth energies, dowsing, and geomancy, suggesting a hidden network of power that underlies the landscape. While scientifically unproven, the idea of ley lines continues to inspire exploration, speculation, and a sense of connection to the ancient world. The idea of ley lines was popularized by Alfred Watkins in his 1925 book, The Old Straight Track. Watkins, an English antiquarian, noticed that many ancient sites in Britain, such as standing stones, churches, and burial mounds, appeared to align along straight lines. He proposed that these lines were ancient trackways used for navigation or trade. In the 1960s, the concept of ley lines was reinterpreted by dowsers and earth mysteries enthusiasts who believed that the lines represented energy currents or pathways of spiritual power. They suggested that ancient sites were deliberately built on ley lines to harness this energy. Some of the claimed characteristics of ley lines include straight alignments. Ley lines are said to follow straight paths across the landscape, connecting multiple sites. Convergence points. Ley lines are said to converge at significant locations, such as ancient monuments or natural landmarks. Energy currents. Ley lines are believed to carry energy currents that can be detected by dowsing or other psychic methods. Spiritual significance. Ley lines are associated with spiritual power, healing, and enhanced consciousness. Skeptics often dismiss the existence of ley lines, arguing that the alignments are simply a result of chance or selective observation. They point out that it is possible to draw straight lines between almost any set of points on a map. However, proponents argue that the number and consistency of the alignments, combined with the spiritual significance of the sites they connect, suggests that there is more to ley lines than just random chance. They believe that ley lines may represent a genuine phenomenon that reveals a hidden order in the landscape and a connection to ancient wisdom. The exploration of ley lines often involves dowsing, using dowsing rods to detect the presence of energy currents along ley lines. Site visits, visiting ancient sites and experiencing the energy of the location. Map analysis, studying maps to identify potential ley line alignments. Meditation and visualization, connecting with the energy of the ley lines through meditation and visualization practices. Imagine walking across the English countryside, following an ancient pathway that connects standing stones, churches, and burial mounds. Picture yourself feeling the energy of the earth beneath your feet, connecting with the wisdom of the past, and experiencing a sense of harmony with the landscape. Envision the possibilities of discovering a hidden network of power that underlies the world around us. The concept of ley lines reminds us that there may be hidden connections between places and that our ancestors may have possessed a deeper understanding of the earth than we do today. It encourages us to explore the landscape with curiosity and respect, and to seek out places of spiritual significance. Ley lines offer a compelling blend of archaeology, spirituality, and a hint of the unknown. While the scientific evidence for their existence is lacking, the idea of ancient pathways connecting significant sites resonates with our desire to find meaning and connection in the world around us. It's a reminder that the landscape can be more than just a collection of geographical features. It can be a repository of history, energy, and spiritual significance. Fact 14. The Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect is a phenomenon where a large number of people share a false memory of an event that never actually happened or remember something differently than it actually occurred. The name Mandela Effect comes from the widespread false memory that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s, even though he was released and lived until 2013. The Mandela Effect is often attributed to parallel realities, false memories, or the manipulation of collective consciousness. The Mandela Effect has become a popular topic of discussion online, with many websites and forums dedicated to cataloging and discussing examples of shared false memories. Some of the most common examples of the Mandela Effect include the Berenstain Bears. Many people remember the children's book series as the Berenstain Bears, with an E, but the correct spelling is Berenstain, with an A. Curious George. Some people remember Curious George, the monkey having a tail, but he has never been depicted with a tail in the books or cartoons. Looney Tunes. Many people remember the cartoon series as Looney Tunes, but the correct spelling is Looney Tunes. Mirror, mirror. Many people remember the line from the Star Trek series as mirror, mirror on the wall, but the actual line is magic mirror on the wall. Kit Kat. Some people remember the Kit Kat candy bar having a hyphen, Kit Kat, but it has never had a hyphen. Various theories have been proposed to explain the Mandela Effect, including parallel realities. The shared false memories may be the result of people crossing over from alternate realities where the events actually occurred differently. False memories. The false memories may be the result of suggestion, misinformation, or the power of the human brain to create and reinforce false memories. Collective consciousness. The collective consciousness of humanity may be shifting and altering our memories of the past. Manipulation of history. The false memories may be the result of deliberate attempts to alter our memories of the past for political or social purposes. Glitches in the Matrix. The false memories may be evidence that our reality is a simulation and that there are occasional glitches in the programming. Skeptics often attribute the Mandela Effect to psychological phenomena, such as confabulation, the creation of false memories, suggestibility, and the power of social influence. They argue that the human memory is notoriously unreliable and that shared false memories are simply a result of people influencing each other's recollections. However, proponents argue that the widespread and consistent nature of the shared false memories in the Mandela Effect suggests that there is something more to the phenomenon than just psychological factors. They believe that the Mandela Effect may represent a genuine mystery that challenges our understanding of memory, reality, and the nature of time. Imagine discovering that something you have always believed to be true is actually false, and that countless other people share your false memory. Picture the confusion and unease you would feel as you try to reconcile your memory with reality. Envision the possibility that our memories are not as reliable as we think, and that our perception of the past may be subject to manipulation or distortion. The mystery of the Mandela Effect reminds us that our memories are not always accurate, and that our perception of reality can be influenced by a variety of factors. It encourages us to question our assumptions about the past and to be aware of the potential for false memories to shape our understanding of the world. The Mandela Effect is a fascinating and unsettling phenomenon that highlights the fallibility of human memory and the power of collective belief. It's a reminder that what we perceive as reality can be surprisingly subjective, and that our memories are not always as accurate as we think. Whether you believe it's evidence of alternate realities or simply a trick of the mind, the Mandela effect is a compelling reminder of the mysteries that still surround human consciousness. Fact 15. Orbs. In paranormal photography and videography, orbs are spherical anomalies that appear as translucent or bright circles in images. They are often interpreted by paranormal enthusiasts as being spirits, angels, or other supernatural entities. While orbs can appear quite compelling in photographs, they are generally explained by scientists and skeptics as being caused by dust particles, insects, or moisture droplets that are illuminated by the camera's flash. The debate over the nature and origin of orbs continues, highlighting the challenges of interpreting photographic evidence and the enduring appeal of the paranormal. Orbs are typically seen in photographs or videos taken in low-light conditions, often indoors or at night. They can vary in size, color, and brightness, and they may appear to be moving or stationary. Proponents of the paranormal interpretation of orbs believe that they are spirits of deceased individuals. Orbs may be the spirits of deceased loved ones who are attempting to communicate with the living. Angels or spirit guides. Orbs may be angelic beings or spirit guides who are watching over and protecting humans. Energy signatures. Orbs may be visual representations of energy fields or psychic vibrations. Skeptics often attribute orbs to mundane causes, such as dust particles floating in the air that are illuminated by the camera's flash. Insects, small insects flying close to the camera lens. Moisture droplets in the air that reflect the camera's flash. Lens flare, internal reflections within the camera lens. One of the arguments against the paranormal interpretation of orbs is that they are often out of focus, indicating that they are close to the camera lens. Additionally, orbs can often be reproduced by simply shaking dust or debris in front of the camera. However, some proponents argue that certain orbs exhibit characteristics that cannot be easily explained by mundane causes. They may claim that these orbs have distinct colors, patterns, or movements that suggest they are not simply dust particles or insects. Imagine taking a photograph in a supposedly haunted location and then noticing several bright, spherical anomalies in the image. Picture the excitement and curiosity you would feel as you wondered if you had captured evidence of the paranormal. Envision the debate that would ensue as you try to determine whether the orbs were genuine spirits or simply dust particles reflecting the flash. The phenomenon of orbs reminds us that photographic evidence can be subjective and open to interpretation. It encourages us to be critical of the images we see and to consider alternative explanations before jumping to paranormal conclusions. It also highlights the enduring human desire to find evidence of the supernatural in the world around us. Orbs are a classic example of how easily the human mind can find patterns and meaning in random occurrences. While it's tempting to see them as evidence of spirits or angels, the more likely explanation is often much more mundane. It's a reminder to always approach photographic evidence with a healthy dose of skepticism and to consider all possible explanations before attributing something to the paranormal. Fact 16. Remote influencing. Remote influencing, also known as psychic influence or telepathic influence, is the purported ability to affect the thoughts, emotions, or behaviors of another person from a distance without using any known physical means of communication. Proponents believe that remote influencing is a form of psychic power that can be developed through training and practice. While often associated with paranormal abilities and mind control, remote influencing is viewed with skepticism by the scientific community and is largely considered to be pseudoscience. The concept of remote influencing has been explored in various forms of media, including books, films, and television shows. It is often portrayed as a powerful and dangerous ability that can be used for both good and evil purposes. There are various techniques that are said to be used in remote influencing, including visualization, focusing intently on the target individual and visualizing the desired outcome. Affirmations, repeating positive statements about the target individual's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. Energy work, directing energy towards the target individual to influence their energy field. Rituals and spells, performing magical rituals or spells to achieve the desired effect. Proponents of remote influencing believe that it can be used to heal illness, promote physical and mental healing in another person, improve relationships, enhance communication, understanding, and connection with others, influence decisions, persuade others to make certain choices or take certain actions, attract success, help others to achieve their goals and fulfill their potential, protect from harm, shield others from negative influences and danger. Skeptics often dismiss remote influencing as pseudoscience or wishful thinking. They argue that there is no scientific evidence to support the claims of remote influence and that any perceived effects are likely due to chance, suggestion, or the placebo effect. Critics also raise ethical concerns about the potential for abuse. They argue that remote influencing could be used to manipulate or control others against their will, violating their autonomy and freedom of choice. Imagine sitting in a quiet space, focusing your attention on a distant person and attempting to influence their thoughts or emotions. Picture yourself sending positive energy and intentions their way, hoping to help them heal, make better choices, or achieve their goals. Envision the potential consequences of using such power, both for good and for evil. The mystery of remote influencing reminds us that the human mind is a powerful and mysterious force, and that there are ethical considerations that must be taken into account when exploring the potential of psychic abilities. It encourages us to use our power wisely and to respect the autonomy of others. Remote influencing is a captivating, yet ethically complex concept. The idea of being able to affect another person's thoughts or actions from afar is both intriguing and potentially unsettling. Whether you believe in its possibility or not, it raises important questions about free will, personal boundaries, and the responsible use of any power we may possess. Fact 17. The tulpa. A tulpa is a concept in Tibetan Buddhism and other esoteric traditions referring to a being or object that is created through sheer mental discipline alone. The practitioner focuses their thoughts and intentions, essentially willing the tulpa into existence. This could range from creating an imaginary friend to something that has a degree of independent action or influence on the physical world. The tulpa represents the power of the mind and the potential to manifest thoughts into reality, even if the degree and mechanism of that manifestation is often debated. In Tibetan Buddhism, the creation of a tulpa is a spiritual practice used to explore the nature of reality and the power of the mind. It requires intense concentration and visualization and is not undertaken lightly. The goal is not simply to create an imaginary friend, but to gain a deeper understanding of the illusory nature of the world and the potential for the mind to shape reality. While often associated with Buddhism, similar concepts exist in other cultures and traditions. Imaginary friends, thought forms, and even certain types of ghosts could be viewed as analogous to the tulpa. The claimed characteristics of a tulpa can vary depending on the practitioner and the tradition, but some common attributes include independent thought. Tulpas may develop their own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors independent of the creator's conscious mind. Physical manifestation. In some cases, tulpas are said to be able to manifest physically, appearing as visible entities or interacting with the physical world. Influence on reality. Some practitioners believe that tulpas can influence events or situations in the physical world. Dissipation. Tulpas can dissipate if the creator loses focus or belief in their existence. Skeptics often dismiss the concept of tulpas as a form of fantasy, imagination, or psychological projection. They argue that there is no scientific evidence to support the claim that thoughts can create independent beings or influence reality. However, proponents argue that the creation of a tulpa is a real phenomenon that demonstrates the power of the mind to shape reality. They point to anecdotal evidence and personal experiences as evidence of the tulpa's existence. Imagine sitting in meditation, focusing your mind intently on creating a being from pure thought. Picture yourself visualizing the tulpa in every detail, giving it a personality, a history, and a purpose. Envision the moment when the tulpa seems to come to life, developing its own thoughts and actions, becoming something more than just an imaginary friend. Fact 18. Doppelgangers. Doppelgangers, a German word meaning double goer, are paranormal phenomena involving an exact duplicate or look-alike of a living person. Unlike twins or people who merely resemble each other, a doppelganger is said to be a spectral or ghostly double, often seen as an omen of bad luck, illness, or even death for the person they resemble. Throughout folklore and mythology, doppelgangers have been portrayed as sinister entities, often appearing to cause mischief, spread confusion, or even replace the original person. The concept of the doppelganger dates back to ancient folklore, with stories of ghostly doubles appearing in various cultures around the world. In Norse mythology, a vartiger is a ghostly double that precedes a person, arriving at a destination just before the actual person does. In Scottish folklore, a fetch is a doppelganger that appears as an omen of death. Doppelgangers are often described as being identical to the original person in every way, including their appearance, mannerisms, and personality. However, they may also exhibit subtle differences, such as a slightly distorted appearance, a strange demeanor, or a sinister aura. The appearance of a doppelganger is often seen as a sign of impending doom for the person they resemble. Some believe that seeing your own doppelganger is a harbinger of death, while others believe that it indicates a period of illness or misfortune. In literature and film, doppelgangers are often used as symbols of duality, identity crisis, and the dark side of human nature. They can represent the repressed desires, fears, or anxieties of the original person, or they can serve as a warning about the dangers of losing oneself. There are numerous anecdotal accounts of doppelgangers throughout history, although most of these accounts are difficult to verify. Some famous examples include Abraham Lincoln. It is said that Lincoln saw a double image of himself in a mirror shortly before his assassination. Catherine the Great. Catherine reportedly ordered her guards to fire upon a doppelganger that she saw sitting on her throne. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Shelley claimed to have encountered his own doppelganger shortly before his death. The existence of doppelgangers remains a mystery. Some believe that they are supernatural entities, while others suggest that they're the result of psychological phenomena, such as hallucinations or mistaken identity. Still others believe that they're simply a product of folklore and imagination. Imagine walking down the street and suddenly seeing yourself walking towards you. Picture the shock, the confusion, and the sense of unease that you would feel. Envision the doppelganger staring back at you with an unnerving gaze, as if it knows something that you don't. The mystery of doppelgangers reminds us that there are still unexplained phenomena in the world, and that the boundaries between reality and illusion can be blurred. It encourages us to question our perceptions and to remain open to the possibility of the paranormal. Doppelgangers are a classic mystical concept that taps into our deepest fears about identity and mortality. The idea of an exact double, possibly with sinister intentions, is inherently unsettling. It's a reminder that there are things in the world that we can't explain, and that our sense of self can be surprisingly fragile. Fact 19, the jinn. Jinn, also known as genies, though the Western understanding of genie often differs significantly, are supernatural creatures that are prominent in Islamic mythology and pre-Islamic Arabian folklore. Unlike angels or demons, jinn are considered to be creatures of free will, capable of both good and evil. They are made of smokeless fire and inhabit a parallel world, unseen by human eyes under normal circumstances. The stories and beliefs surrounding jinn are rich with mystical elements, offering a glimpse into a world beyond our everyday perception. In Islamic tradition, jinn are mentioned in the Quran, where it is stated that they were created before humans. They possess intelligence, emotions, and the ability to interact with the human world. Some jinn are said to be Muslim, while others are not. The non-Muslim jinn are often considered to be mischievous or malevolent, capable of causing harm to humans. Jinn are believed to have various powers, including the ability to shapeshift, become invisible, travel vast distances in an instant, and influence human thoughts and emotions. They are often associated with magic and sorcery, and some humans are said to be able to summon and control jinn through rituals and incantations. The concept of granting wishes, which is often associated with genies in Western culture, is derived from stories of humans who have managed to gain favor with powerful jinn. However, these wishes often come with a price, and the jinn may twist the wording of the wish to produce an unexpected or undesirable outcome. Jinn are believed to inhabit various places, including deserts, ruins, and dark or abandoned locations. They are said to be particularly active at night, and some cultures have specific customs and rituals to protect themselves from jinn. In literature and film, jinn are often portrayed as powerful and enigmatic beings, capable of both great good and great evil. They can represent the hidden forces of nature, the temptations of forbidden knowledge, or the consequences of unchecked power. Imagine wandering through a desolate desert at night, feeling the presence of unseen entities surrounding you. Picture the jinn appearing before you in a swirling vortex of fire and smoke, offering you unimaginable power in exchange for a terrible price. Envision the consequences of your choices as you navigate the treacherous world of jinn magic. The mystery of jinn reminds us that there are forces beyond our comprehension and that the pursuit of power can be a dangerous game. It encourages us to respect the unseen world and to be mindful of the potential consequences of our actions. Jinn are a fascinating example of a mystical creature with complex and nuanced characteristics. They are not simply good or evil. They have free will and can be unpredictable. The concept of wish-granting jinn, while popular in Western culture, is only one aspect of their rich mythology. It's a reminder that there are often hidden forces at play in the world, and that power comes with responsibility. Fact 20. Poltergeist activity. Poltergeist activity, a German word meaning noisy ghost, is a paranormal phenomenon involving unexplained physical disturbances, such as the movement of objects, loud noises, and other disruptive events. Unlike traditional ghosts, which are believed to be the spirits of deceased individuals, poltergeists are often attributed to the subconscious energy of a living person, typically an adolescent experiencing emotional stress or psychological turmoil. Poltergeist phenomena are often short-lived and localized, but they can be intense and frightening for those who experience them. The history of poltergeist phenomena dates back centuries, with accounts of unexplained physical disturbances appearing in folklore and religious texts around the world. In many cultures, poltergeists were attributed to mischievous spirits or demons. Modern paranormal investigators often attribute poltergeist activity to the subconscious energy of a living person, typically a teenager or young adult who is experiencing emotional distress. This theory suggests that the individual's repressed emotions and anxieties manifest as physical disturbances in their environment. Poltergeist activity typically involves a range of unexplained phenomena, including object movement, objects moving, levitating, or being thrown across a room, loud noises, unexplained banging, knocking, scratching, or tapping sounds, apparitions, fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures, or other unexplained visual phenomena, electrical disturbances, lights flickering, appliances turning on or off, and other electrical malfunctions, physical assaults, reports of being scratched, bitten, or slapped by an unseen force, rare. Skeptics often attribute poltergeist activity to natural phenomena, such as drafts, vibrations, or psychological factors, such as suggestion, imagination, or attention-seeking behavior. They argue that many reported cases of poltergeist activity can be explained by mundane causes or by the exaggeration of events. However, proponents argue that some cases of poltergeist activity are difficult to explain by natural means and that they may represent evidence of paranormal phenomena. They point to cases where multiple witnesses have reported the same events and where physical evidence, such as photographs or videos, has been captured. Imagine being alone in your house when suddenly objects start moving on their own. Picture the fear and confusion you would feel as you witness these unexplained events. Envision the poltergeist manifesting as a mischievous or even malevolent force, disrupting your life and challenging your sense of reality. The mystery of poltergeist activity reminds us that there are forces beyond our understanding and that the human mind can be a powerful and unpredictable source of energy. It encourages us to explore the depths of our own emotions and to be mindful of the potential for subconscious influences to manifest in our environment. Poltergeist activity is a classic trope of the paranormal. The idea that our own repressed emotions can manifest as physical disturbances is both fascinating and unsettling. It's a reminder that our inner world can have a powerful impact on our external reality, and that even seemingly mundane environments can be the site of unexplained phenomena.